aka Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to AKA Geeks. This is Movie of the Week. I'm Sean. This week's Movie of the Week was Ghost in the Shell. This film is starring Scarlett Johansson and a cast of characters that if you saw them, you'd probably recognize them, but you'd be hard-pressed to say their names. This film is based on the anime. It's directed by Rupert Sanders. This film started its production with a lot of people very upset with it, mainly because you had a white woman, Scarlett Johansson, starring in the title role and instead of a Japanese Asian woman. I have, throughout the time from that point on, you'd hear these reports of the story is much more vast, much more than that, and there's a bunch of Asian actors in the film, a lot of Japanese representation. So I tried not to make heads or tails of it. I just went into this film just trying to watch it. The aspect of, is she distracting Scarlett Johansson in this role that is in a Japanese, it looks like a Tokyo kind of vibe, and in that kind of aspect, when I was watching it, she did not distract me from it. She played the role of what she was doing perfectly fine. She had good mannerisms. She kept with that line of acting, and she did a good job with that, I felt. Some of the other characters in there as well, they did a good job playing their role, doing what they're supposed to do, giving off their one-note characters. But that's the issue with it. A lot of the characters are one-note. In all honesty, I didn't feel that this film went into anything deeper than Scarlett Johansson's character, Major. But even then, it wasn't very deep. There was little snippets. You find out at the end of the movie what her situation was, but even then it's not too deep. It's very surface level stuff. And all the other characters, you kind of find out, okay, this guy's a sniper, this guy is like the all-around guy, Batu. And then you find out certain things, but they're pretty much one note. Now, also in this movie, there are a lot of close-up not wide-angle camera shots, but one shot where the CGI and the action is beautifully done. Beautiful stuff. And then you have other stuff where it's wide angle or just a full CGI sweeping view where there's so much freaking crap in the screen that it's almost like it's vomit for your eyes. And I don't mean to say it looks terrible, but there's so much crap going on in some of the scenes when they're doing these wide shots of the vistas of the scenic view that it's like, it made me not care. It made me not care what work was put in by how many hundreds of people into that shot because there was too much junk going on. I couldn't focus on anything, and none of it looked even entertaining at some points when they would do this. I feel like they went too often to that type of shot, and for me it was a detriment of the film. As the film goes on, you continually fall short of developing these characters. And because of that, you almost lose interest in the film. I almost lost interest in the film because they were building a slow story. There was some action in it, of course, and there was a sense of camaraderie with her team. But other than that, they didn't develop the characters enough to make me care about the film as a whole. And so all this surface level stuff, it became very apparent early on that this film was paint by the numbers. And it made me care even less about the film. I still thought like I said, there were good points in the film where the action and the CGI and that all lined up really well. I really liked the idea of some of the things that were going on in this future world. But I think overall the film could have been done much better. Not by me, of course. I'm not saying I'm a good director. I give props to Rupert Sanders for putting this on screen and all the people he worked with. Just like any other filmmaker out there, I give them props, even though I do feel that this film could have been better. At this point in time, when I look back on this film, I think of it as something that could have been left in the comics, in the anime, and I would be none the worse for wear if that would happen. I do think that they could put this on screen in the future and tell a much more in-depth story. I do think they can do that. So I look forward to sometime in the future, I don't know when, if somebody ever tries to do that again, I'll be up for it because I liked the possibilities that came with this IP. It does make me interested in the anime and this as the other formats, not the movie format. It makes me interested in the other stuff that's Ghost in the Shell and interested in that world. So at least it did that for me. I don't recommend this film for everybody. If you go into this film with an open mind, don't expect it to be exactly like the anime. Don't expect too much from it. Go into it to just enjoy what it puts out there in front of you, to see if you can enjoy it. Like I said, I didn't enjoy it to the fullest. I kind of found myself sometimes thinking I could be doing other things, and overall it wasn't my cup of tea. And as I said, I don't recommend this to everybody. I don't think I'll be watching this film again, and this is one of my lower rated films in Movie of the Week that I've done in quite a while, because I look for the positive in films. I love film, I love movies, and so it's really hard for me to be very down on a film. Even when I'm feeling like this means this one really lacked something to it. That's it for this week's episode of Movie of the Week. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation about the movie Ghost in the Shell, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
aka Geeks.